How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. I also got to put in the disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor and this isn't financial advice. So just know when you do invest, you're doing it at your own risk. So today we're going to be talking about clean energy fuels, CLNE stock. I know I haven't talked about it much on this channel, but there's something that I want to share with you guys and make sure you keep it on your radar. But first, we got to go over the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below in the description. But if you are a shareholder or you're considering to take a position, I suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing that we're going to be going over is a recent article that came out. The author that actually put it together, I follow a good amount of his articles. Like, I read them, I find them enjoyable, and they're also insightful, and it's part of the reasons why I'm going to be sharing it with you guys for today in regards to CLNE. And what it kind of goes over is, yes, there's a lot of potential in clean energy fuels. Yes, it's got a lot of attention going on the category of meme stocks, but I want you guys to really understand the background here and what you're investing in if you're actually considering it. Then secondly, we're going to be doing a technical analysis, taking a look at the price action. One thing on this channel, we like to buy shares when they are cheap. We don't like buying at the top. We don't FOMO into anything. So we want to know what are those areas of support and where can the price pull back to. This really guarantees to make sure you're prepared and you're not surprised, so you can build out a good position and ride the run up when it does occur. And then when all of that is done, I'll be doing the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get into it. So we're going to take a look at this recent article that came out for clean energy fuels. You know, there's a lot going down with this stock, so let's get into it. So buy clean energy fuels as it supercharges the future. Social momentum carries CLNE stock higher, but clean energy fuels will continue to thrive once the media attention fails. So we're just going to be covering the first paragraph because this is talking about other meme stocks. So let's just get to the meat and potatoes. So CLNE stock, from natural gas to renewable gas. As far as clean energy fuels, they've been in the natural gas production and distribution space for more than 2 decades. And they're continuing to stand out by taking advantage of their past successes to provide themselves a head start into the renewable energy space. During their time as a company, Clean Energy Fuels has grown their network to include over 550 natural gas stations and 1,000 fleet customers, and they now sell over 400 million gallons of natural gas per year. When it comes to natural gas production and distribution, Clean Energy Fuels is at the top of the ladder. That alone is good, but Clean Energy Fuels is doing more than sitting as the top dog of the natural gas game. In fact, they recently introduced a new company logo that brings their focus on renewable natural gas to the forefront of their brand's identity. But the recent logo change-up doesn't mean the company is just now getting into renewables. It only marks a significant milestone in this company's long-standing journey. Since 2013, Clean Energy Fuels has been pouring resources into its waste source RNG called Redeem. Volumes of Redeem have soared over 1,000% from 13 million gallons to 143.3 million gallons. RNG currently represents 70% of the fuel Clean Energy Fuels sells, and they're on track to be 100% RNG based by 2025. Clean Energy Fuels also has multiple huge contracts with companies that use a lot of natural gas, such as UPS. This gas guzzling parcel delivery company signed the biggest RNG contract ever with Clean Energy Fuels back in 2019. Invest in the tools, not the gold. In 1849, during the California gold rush, thousands of dreamers flocked to the West Coast to get rich by finding gold. But few people actually found any gold, and most people ended up completely broke. The most consistently profitable individuals were those who supplied the prospectors with their pickaxes, shovels, and other essential tools. The way to strike gold in a megatrend investing is to seek out and invest in the industry suppliers like Clean Energy Fuels. We believe Clean Energy Fuels should be able to leverage its big contract wins, current RNG momentum, and the company's long-standing legacy gas dominance to perform the unrivaled renewable natural gas supplier in the United States. This would be huge for the company since $40.5 billion gallons of gas are consumed each year by the transportation market in the US alone. Many estimates suggest roughly 20% of this market will be powered by RNG by 2030. That's about 8 billion gallons of RNG. If clean energy fuels can control just 20% of the RNG market in 2030, then their current RNG sales would see a growth of over 1,000%, up from 143.3 million gallons in 2019 to 1.6 billion gallons in 2030. As their sales grow, so will CLNE stock. As such, if you're bullish on RNG's role in the clean energy revolution, ignore its current meme stock status and take a position in CLNE stock when it inevitably dips after the hype dies. That said, CLNE isn't the only fundamentally meme stock on my radar today. Then it goes on talking about other stocks and so forth, which we don't really need to get into. But the focus here is on clean energy fuels. So yes, this is a company that's been around for quite some time, and the type of technology they're trying to leverage can be very beneficial for them due to the fact that it's in a growing market. So outside of its meme stock status, I feel CLNE is one of those stocks you want to keep on your watch list, especially when it has a pullback after all this hype dies down. So we're going to do a technical analysis for CLNE Clean Energy Fuels. So let's see how it performed on the day. So we ended up closing at $11.78, being up 5.94% on the day. On the low, it tested $11.37, and on the high, testing $12.65. And as you can see, what's going down inside the post market, as of this recording, it is at $11.83. So the chart that we're actually using is the 1 year daily chart. We're going to take a look at how CLNE has been doing. So if we go down below, we take a look at the RSI being right around 61. Yes, it's definitely in that overbought territory. So if you are considering to get into a position now for CLNE, just know that you're going to be paying a hefty premium. So now when we take a look, it is well above the 200-day, also showing strength above the 21-day EMA, and also just finished just below the 100-day, which is set at 1184, and it finished at 1178. So as far as this run that CLNE has been on, so we can see back here, this was literally around May, where it was around that 770 area, and it literally just made this run up and got up to a high over here to just around $14.49. So taking everything into consideration, of course, this is going to be an area of resistance. Let's just call this the 1450 level. If we're able to pass this particular area, then I'm definitely looking forward to seeing a strong movement getting here to $15. And if it has even more buying pressure, then easily can get into 1550 and start testing around 16. And if it passes 16, it's taking off from there, going to 17. And then, you know, it's to the moon. Now, taking into consideration, where would you want to catch this stock on a pullback? As far as that's concerned, I could definitely see an area here right around $10 being an area of support. We want to see it when it does pull back to come down to this area, and this is where I would think about getting into a starter position, but of course it would have to depend on what it's looking like. If it's in the middle of a falling knife, then I'll be looking forward to actually this area here right around $9. If it does continue, then I would think about getting into a second position anywhere in the $7 range, because you really can't go wrong with that, because when it did pull back, that's where it ended up at. So $8 is not a bad area to actually consider, but I'm going to be looking out for 10, 9, and 8. And then if it's at the $8 range, that's where I would start loading very heavy, but I would take a starter position somewhere around this 9 to 10 area. All depends on what it's looking like, whether it's a falling knife or it's just pulling back really hard. But for the most part, anybody who's in this play and you're riding the run up, just want to make sure that you protect your profits. So for my final thoughts for CLNE Clean Energy Fuels, there's definitely a lot of upside in this play. But one thing I want you to understand, yes, it has ran up quite a bit. So over here on this channel, we do not buy at the top. Now this makes me want to get into the next point. Let's take a look at the analyst price targets very quickly. So we can see here for the analyst price targets, it has $15.33. So this means 30% upside, or just over that. So on the low, they have it here at $12. On the medium, they have it at $15.33. Then on the high, they have it at $20. 2 rated a buy, 1 rates it a hold, and 1 rates it a sell. Currently, the price is at $11.78. So, of course, it has ran up. As you know, it's definitely gained a lot of attention in regard to being categorized as a meme stock. And this is part of the reasons why I'd much rather you guys wait to get this stock on a pullback. Of course, since it has made a strong move in its overall price action, there's also a lot of short interest in this play. So I want to make sure you're aware of that. So what does this mean? There's going to be a lot of volatility. And when the stock does pull back, it's going to be fairly significant. Also, one thing to actually look at with CLNE, they have some big time agreements with some notable names. Notable names being UPS and as well as Amazon. So taking this into consideration, there's definitely a lot of upside here. But I myself personally, I do not want to buy CLNE at the current prices of where it's at. I know it got to the $12 range. I don't feel comfortable buying it in those particular areas. Yes, there is a lot of upside, but I'd rather wait for a pullback to actually really get into this play and then hold it for at least 1 year. Am I saying, well, you know what, don't buy in right now? Of course, it is your money. You can decide to do what you want to do with it. And of course, the stock could continue to run up further. But one thing I want you to understand, you do not want to get into the habit when it comes to FOMOing into plays. You want to make sure you have a game plan. You're buying stocks on the cheap so you can sell it when it goes all the way to the highs. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.